भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। हरे कृष्णा। टुडे we continuing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2nd, Chapter 5th, Shloka क्रमांक 10. न अनृतं तच्चापि
न अनृतं तव तच्च अपि
यथा मां प्रब्रवीषि भो।
यथा मां प्रब्रवीषि भो।
अविज्ञाय परमत्तः
अविज्ञाय परं मत्तः
एतावत् त्वं यतः हि मे।
एतावत् त्वं यतः हि मे।
न अनृतं तव तच्चापि
न अनृतं तव तच्च अपि
यथा मां प्रब्रवीषि भो।
यथा मां प्रब्रवीषि भो।
अविज्ञाय परमत्तः
अविज्ञाय परं मत्तः
एतावत् त्वं यतः हि मे।
एतावत् त्वं यतः हि मे।
न अनृतं तव तच्चापि यथा मां प्रब्रवीषि भोः। अविज्ञाय परं मत्तः एतावत् त्वं यतः हि मे. Whatever you have spoken about me
अननृतं
is
तव
not false,
तच्च अपि
because
यथा मां प्रब्रवीषि भो। अविज्ञाय परं मत्तः एतावत् त्वं यतः हि मे। Translation and purpose.
translation and purport by the Srila Prabhupada. Whatever you have spoken about me is not false, because unless and until one is aware of the personality of Godhead, who is the ultimate truth beyond me, one is sure to be illusioned by observing my powerful activities. Purport. The frog in the well. Logic illustrates that a frog residing in the atmosphere and boundary of a whale cannot imagine the length and breadth of gigantic ocean. Such a frog, when informed of the gigantic length and breadth of the ocean, first of all does not believe that there is such an ocean. And if someone assures him that factually there is such a thing, the frog then begins to measure it by imagination, by means of pumping its belly as far as possible, with the result that the tiny abdomen of the frog bursts and the poor frog dies without any experience of the actual ocean. Similarly, the material scientists also want to challenge the inconceivable potency of the Lord by measuring him with their frog like brains and their scientific achievements. But at the end, they simply die unsuccessfully, like the frog. Sometimes a materially powerful man is accepted as God, or the incarnation of God, without any knowledge of the factual God. Such a material assessment may be gradually extended, and the attempt may reach to the highest limit of Brahmaji, who is the topmost living being within the universe and has a duration of life unimaginable to the material scientist. As we get information from the most authentic book of knowledge, the Bhagavad Gita 8.17, Brahmaji's one day and night is calculated to be some hundreds of thousands of years on our planet. This long duration of life may not be believed by the frog in the whale, but but persons who have a realization of the truth mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita accept existence of a great personality who creates variegatedness of complete universe. It is understood from the revealed scriptures that the Brahmaji of this universe is younger than all the other Brahmas, in charge of the many universes beyond this. but none of them can be equal to the personality of Godhead. Naradji is one of the liberated souls, and after his liberation, he was known as Narad. Otherwise, before his liberation, he was simply a son of a maidservant. The question may be asked why Naradji was not aware of the Supreme Lord and why he misconceived Brahmaji to be the Supreme Lord. Although factually he was not, a liberated soul is never bewildered by such a mistaken idea. So why did Naradji ask all those questions just like an ordinary man with a poor fund of knowledge? There was such bewilderment in Arjuna also. Although he is eternally associate of the Lord, such bewilderment in Arjuna or in Narada takes place by the will of the Lord, so that other non-liberated person may realize the real truth and knowledge of the Lord. The doubt arising in the mind of Narada about Brahmaji's becoming all powerful is a lesson for the frogs in the well, that they may not be bewildered in misconceiving the identity of the personality of Godhead, even by comparison to a personality like Brahma. So, what to speak of ordinary men who falsely pose themselves as God or an incarnation of God? The Supreme Lord is always the Supreme. And as we have tried to establish many times in this purpose, no living being, even up to the standard of Brahma, can claim to be one with the Lord. One should not be misled when people worship a great man as God after his death, as a matter of hero worship. There were many kings like Lord Ramachandra, the king of Ayodhya, but none of them are mentioned as God in the revealed scripture. To be a good king is not necessarily the qualification for being Lord Rama, but to be a great personality like Krishna is the qualification for being the personality of Godhead. If we scrutinize the characters who took part in the battle of Kurukshetra, we may find that Maharaj Yudhishthir was no less a pious king than Lord Ramchandra, and by character study, Maharaj Yudhishthir was a better moralist than Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna asked Maharaj Yudhishthir to lie, but Maharaj Yudhishthir protested. But that does not mean that Maharaj Yudhishthir could be equal to Lord Ramchandra or Lord Krishna. The great authorities have estimated Maharaj Yudhishthir to be a pious man, but they have accepted Lord Rama or Krishna as the personality of Godhead. The Lord is therefore a different identity in all circumstances, and no idea of anthropomorphism can be applied to him. The Lord is always the Lord, and a common living being can never be equal to him. ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितमेन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवाञ्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देव श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् सगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांच नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna. Today we continue Srimad Bhagavatam Canto, second chapter, fifth Shlok Kramank. We try to understand Shlok Kramank 10. Na anurutam tava tacchapi yatha mam prabhavishi bho avigyaya paramatta etavatvam yata hime. In this shloka, they describing about uh, Brahmaji told Narad Muni that you asking me, that is right, that is not false, because until one is not up to one is not aware of the personality of Godhead, and he not know about our ultimate goal, uh, that is to achieve the supreme personality of Godhead. Ultimate truth is beyond that. One is sure to be illusioned by the observing, uh, up to he, if he is not known uh, behind this creation which doing Brahmaji. After, behind that, someone is responsible for that creation. We, if we not understand, we not know about the Param Brahma, Param Parmeshwar, we always we live in illusion, by the observing the powerful activities of the Brahma, and we uh, 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 fix our mind that Brahma is the superior. So that question is very important, and because that question asking, Brahmaji gets inspiration to think about the supreme personality of Godhead, and this talk discussion is continuing. We will see other shlokas. Now today Prabhuji will tell us this shlokas nicely. Hare Krishna.
Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. So, as we have seen, this shloka number 9 to 13, it's about Brahmaji's clarifications on Narada's false convictions. So, Narad was convinced that I think you are the supreme independent Lord. But then Brahmaji is now started giving the clarifications. Many times it happens that we do not see the truth. Once Sunny and Bunny, they were walking in the house, and then Bunny said, Chalo Sunny, let's go out. So both came out. And after coming out, Sunny was saying, Oh Bunny, why have you got me out? It's so dark out here. And Bunny was shocked, was amazed. Ki, where is the darkness? It's broad daylight. The sun rays are so hot. So he asked, Sunny, it's bright out here. So Sunny said, No, it's so dark out here. So Bunny then looked at Sunny and was wondering what happened to him. In broad daylight, he is saying that it is dark, and then he realized that he was wearing the black dark glasses. So he just asked him, Please remove your glasses. And the moment he removed his black glasses, Sunny said, Wow, it's broad daylight. Something similar is happening out here. If you don't know what is beyond the curtain that we are having, then we don't know what the truth really lies there. Naradji was in the similar position. He was exhibiting as if he didn't know what is beyond Lord Brahmaji. And so he was wondering that Brahmaji is the original creator because he never was thinking about the truth beyond Brahmaji. And the situation is just like the frog in the well. So we all know of this story of Mr. Frog. So Mr. Frog was very happy staying in his well. All of a sudden, another frog came, and Frog B was happy to be in the well, and Frog A was saying, "Where have you come from?" So Frog B says, "I have come from ocean." So the frog in the well, Frog A was asking, "How big is it? Is it bigger than my well?" The Frog B was saying, "Yes, it is bigger." So he was saying, "Was it twice the size of my male?" He said, "No, much bigger than that." So is it 5 times bigger? No, even bigger than that. 10 times bigger? No, even bigger than that. So the frog, it cannot fathom the ocean beyond its well. Similarly, material conditioned souls, including the so called scientists, they cannot grasp the Lord's unlimited nature using limited material logic and experience. That is where there is futility of scientific knowledge. No matter how advanced the reasoning or discoveries, attempts to measure or challenge God's potency with frog-like approach always ends in a defeat. And these people they die without true realization, just like the frog who tries to expand itself to understand the size of the ocean. The attempts to measure or equate God to material achievements always end in failure. And they get always bonded to repeat the cycle of birth and death. And this is where the false deification of the humans is happening. Hero worships, materially powerful persons, sometimes even up to Brahmaji, are mistaken for the Lord or incarnation of Lord due to ignorance about the true nature of divinity. The scriptures they have made it very clear. While Brahma's position is highly exalted, his day is unimaginably long as per our calculations, which we see in Bhagavad Gita 8.17. But even he is not equal to the Lord. And moreover, there are countless Brahmas, none of whom are the personality of Godhead. Once Brahmaji, he thought that he is the creator, he is the best. So he had gone to visit Krishna. And that arrogance had come in him. So he went and the doorkeeper stopped him, stopped Brahmaji. So he said, "Please inform Krishna that I have come to meet him." So they went inside and said, "Brahmaji has come to meet you." So Krishna told the doorkeepers, "Please ask him which Brahmaji." So when this was asked, Brahmaji was shocked. "Which Brahmaji? What does he mean by him?" So he said, "Tell him the four-headed Brahma has come." The doorkeepers inform Krishna. Krishna says, "Which of the four-headed Brahma?" And he comes and tells this to Brahmaji and he's shocked. Matlab, what is happening? And in the meantime, what Krishna does, through transcendental potency, he asks all the Brahmas of all the universes to come to his Golok Vrindavan to meet him. So all the Brahmas come. All of a sudden, outside the door, Brahmaji sees that one, two, three, so many Brahmas are coming with some with 4 heads, some with 6 heads, some with 10 heads, some with 100 heads. And in that huge gathering, he feels that he is nowhere. And he was completely bewildered. And then Krishna comes out. He accepts obeisances for everyone and tells all the other Brahmas to go. And then Brahmaji realizes that Krishna, you are the supreme. I thought that I am the biggest, but no, I don't even fathom what you are and how many universes there are. So similar false deification should be avoided. Now, Narada here, when he is creating a doubt, it's actually for a divine lesson. When Brahma's supremacy is questioned, it is serving as a lesson for conditioned souls. Such doubt, though not arising from ignorance, it is arranged by Lord to teach the truth to others. So Narada's doubt about Brahma or Arjuna's seeming confusion, it is actually orchestrated by Lord to teach conditioned souls not to mistake even the greatest soul for God. because no one can equal God. Supreme Lord is always distinct and supreme in all circumstances. No living entity, even a liberated one or eternal associated like Arjuna, can be equal to him. In Bhagavad Gita 4.5, Krishna tells that he remembers all past births, unlike the living beings, and that is where the difference lies. Prabhupada talks about rejecting anthropomorphism, assigning human traits to God, or assuming human beings can become God, example after death, is not bona fide. God cannot be fully understood with human concepts or by assigning human characteristics or limitations, anthropomorphism. Hero worship should not be confused with divinity. God is not made by process or popularity. God is God because He is God. So only devotion can reveal Him. As mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 10th chapter 14 and 15 shlok, only those in devotional service can understand Krishna. Mental speculation, atheistic commentary on Gita, they are all condemned. Atma Vidya, transcendental knowledge, we can get only through scriptures, through a guru. As mentioned in the 36th sloka of the 9th chapter of first canto or Bhagavad Gita, it is clarified that Bhagavad Gita was spoken to correct the body misidentification. Arjuna's apparent confusion was orchestrated to deliver his supreme knowledge of soul to all souls. Practically, let us see what is happening today. Figures like Swami Narayan, Aurobindo, Ramakrishna, Sai Baba, they were elevated posthumously by followers to Godhead, a trend which contradicts Shastric truth. Sai Baba, in fact, wanted to install Krishna's deity, but after his death, his own deity was installed, which is an example of how misconceptions spread. True spiritual discernment requires understanding that God is eternally God. No process or worship can turn any living entity into God. There's a fundamental difference between God and living entity. The eternal difference is that while both God, Supreme Krishna, and soul are eternal, only the Lord is infallible, Achyuta, and remembers all past births. Living entities, no matter how advanced, forget due to changing of bodies. So oneness is a misconception. Even the most exalted companions of the Lord, like Arjuna, are distinct from Krishna. The Lord's transcendental body, his soul, it is one, identical, unlike conditioned souls like us who have to take another body. So, this realization of God can only come through relationship and devotion to Krishna. Devotional understanding, the Lord can only be truly known by those engaged in devotional service and in proper relationship with Him, like Arjuna. So, as we saw earlier, we can be in any of the five types of relationships with Krishna. Either we can serve Him, either we can befriend Him, either we can be in a parental bondage, either we can be the lover of Krishna. So, some way or the other, we have to establish a relationship and completely surrender and serve. Access is always denied to the faithless. Persons with atheistic or demonic mentality, those who rely only on mental speculation, they can never know Krishna. The source of knowledge about Krishna can be Bhagavad Gita and scriptures only, and those should be learned only from bona fide devotees, those who come in the Guru Shishya Parampara, as we saw yesterday. Those lacking realization should neither interpret or comment, and we should be aware to stay away from them. The goal of the spiritual teachings is deliverance from material illusion. Purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to deliver souls from bodily identification and re-establish the eternal relationship with Krishna. Transcendental knowledge is provided by the Lord for the benefit of all to free souls in any part of the universe from ignorance and false beliefs. So this seemingly simple statement by Brahmaji is so very, very important because it highlights the illusion and the drawback of our material vision and conceptions. It's a warning to us that we should avoid anthropomorphism at all costs. So if I had to conclude, it would be to avoid being misled, we must deeply study Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita through disciplic succession. Lord is always transcendently distinct. No soul, however great, can be equal to him. So reject all pseudo spiritual ideologies that equate man with God. Supreme Lord is always distinct from all living beings, regardless of material or spiritual status. So if someone is declaring because of his powerful position and continuous successes that he is a Paramatma, then he is the biggest fool. And that way we can never have Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas on the transcendental path. So realization of this truth is essential to avoid mistaken idolization, to gain genuine spiritual knowledge which is rooted in devotion and received from authentic sources. And that is why Srila Prabhupada always asks us to ensure that we are always in association of the devotees. We systematically study all the scriptures, small books, then Bhagavad Gita, then Srimad Bhagavatam, then Chaitanya Charitamrit in a systematic manner from senior devotees. Ensure that we are always completing our 16 rounds of chanting minimum daily without fail, participating in Sankirtana. Take only Krishna Prasadam as diet. Do deity worship, deity services, and engage in some kind of a service to the devotees, to Guru, and to Krishna. And this way, we'll be on the right path for our purification and transformation of the heart, which will ultimately lead us to the absolute truth. Thank you very much.